Call now for the 2010 Steiner Tractor Parts Catalog, featuring the largest selection of new aftermarket parts for your antique or classic tractor.
On this Tractor Fanatic webisode, Charles English shows us his collection of rare John Deere 4230 gas tractors.
Okay, we're with Charles English in Darmstadt, Indiana, which is just north of Evansville, Indiana. And Charles, you've got a very interesting collection of tractors here. These 4230 gases are very rare. Tell me about how you got involved in the 4230 series.
Well, they made 33 of them. The one with the loader on it is the 33rd one built. And I've had that tractor about 15 years. It's rather interesting. In Illinois, there was 11 of them shipped to Illinois. When I found that one, then it's kind of been for the last 15 years kind of a passion of me to try to find them. I think I have located 18 of the 33. I had 6 of them at one time, but every time I need a new truck or something, I'll sell a couple of them. So
they're getting to be worth some money, aren't they?
I might decide to sell another one.
So obviously, the vast majority of tractors during that period of the 4230 series and tractors in general were diesel at that time.
Well,
right?
In one respect, the way I figured, there was 33,000 approximately 4230 diesels, but only 33 gas burners. So in reality, you're going to see about 999 diesels before you run across a gas burner.
Right, right, absolutely. So these are very rare, and you've got 3 of the 33 sitting right here, and you told me you had 6 of them at one time. You sold a couple?
Yeah, I've had 6 of them. I had one, the only one with the tricycle front end. That was a real unique tractor.
Yeah.
It's up in Wisconsin, Walter Keller's collection now.
And it took a little bit to separate you from it, didn't it?
No, I was needing a new truck.
There you go. Well, tell me about this one.
Well, this one here is one of the best ones I've ever had. It was not shipped with that cab. All of the 33, there was like 8 or 10 of them did have 4-post canopies, but none of them had a factory cab. That is a sound guard cab that was taken off of a diesel and put on this one. That's the only tractor, 4230 gas, that was sold new in the state of Iowa.
Wow.
It's kind of unique how these things travel around. I found it in Spokane, Washington.
Now, so what was the advantage of diesel over gas? Why weren't there many gas sold?
Well,
More economical for the
the
farmer?
main reason is these things will use 10 gallons of gas an hour.
All right, well, tell me about the second one with the loader on the front.
Well, this one with the loader on, that's the tractor I told you a while ago. It's the 33rd one built. I've had it about 15 years, and it was built July the 3rd of 73. And according to what I can find out, they only built one more gas tractor after that. 2 days later, they built a 4030 gas. And it's somewhere in southeastern Iowa when it was new. Where it's at now, I have no idea.
So do you have your eye on it?
No, I haven't really. They made about 190 of those, and I never did really pursue those 4030s. I guess I should have, but.
Right, right. Now, let's walk up to the third one here and tell me about this tractor.
This here uniqueness about this 4230 gas burner, it's was the only one shipped east of Indiana when it was new. It went to New York, and I found it in Pennsylvania, and the fellow was getting ready to cut it up and put a big diesel motor in and make a pulling tractor, and I made him a ridiculous offer, so he sold me the tractor, and he went and gave him another tractor to make him a pulling tractor out of. It's got about 4,000 hours on it. Like I say, it was the only one shipped east of Indiana. It's very unique. The one with the cab over was the only one shipped new to Iowa, and North Dakota got 1, Indiana got 4, Illinois got 11.
Wow.
And there's a lot of states just only got 1, so they are pretty unique.
So do you find there's more of an interest in finding these now, or?
Yeah, you know, as people get older, the kind of a rough formula is people like to collect what they had when they were seniors in high school. So when a guy was a senior in high school, if his tractor was new, that's kind of what he likes to collect now. That's not a carved in stone rule, but that does happen.
But that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, things you grow up with as a youth, right? Now, this tractor, I know that the diesel versions, I think, were rated 95 or 100 horsepower.
They're both 100 horse.
Okay.
This is the only 100 horse gas tractor John Deere ever built.
This is it, huh?
4230, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And so this was a pretty powerful tractor in the mid-70s then.
Yeah, there was some more built, more powerful, but a 100 horse tractor was a pretty good sized tractor.
Right.
You know, it'd pull
Absolutely.
5 plows if you could afford to feed it.
Right, right, exactly. And the 4230 actually replaced the very popular and successful 4020 and so on, right?
Right. The motor in it is the same basic block and head as a 4020. I think they turned them up a little bit higher RPM, and they got a humongous big carburetor on it that.
Because weren't you telling me that you had found that the carburetors were unique on these tractors? Right?
Well, from my own thing, I can find out this is a big carburetor on these 4230s. That is the only tractor that carburetor is used on. It's a humongous big carburetor, and surprisingly, last time I checked, 33 tractors built. John Deere still got 44 kits in stock. I guess they figure on these things running forever.
What do you hope to do with these? Are you going to try to get some more of them, or are you?
No, I'm not looking for any more.
No.
I'm getting too old. I do have 3 sons. Maybe I'll let the 3 boys have the 3, or I might, like I say, if I decide to get a new truck in a couple of years.
Get something new?
Yeah, I might decide to sell one.
Well, listen, I noticed something you have down in the woods. It looked like it'd been underwater for a while. Can you tell me about that?
There's a 4010 diesel John Deere down there that fell off of Diamond Island, which is approximately 25 miles downriver from Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah.
Pretty close to Mount Vernon, Indiana, and it fell off the island, and it spent 10 years in about somewhere between 20 and 40 feet of water.
Call now for the 2010 Steiner Tractor Parts Catalog, featuring the largest selection of new aftermarket parts for your antique or classic tractor. With 45,000 square feet, Steiner Tractor Parts makes every effort to have your parts in stock. Call 800-234-3280 or visit steinertractor.com.
I'm guessing this is the tractor that was underwater for 10 years, huh?
Yeah, it's an old 4010 diesel that spent about 10 years in the Ohio River.
Wow.
It's probably been out of the river for another 10 years now, but it's been sitting back there in the woods for those last 10 years.
So that's what a tractor looks like that's been in the drink for a long time, huh?
We think when it tumbled off the edge of Diamond Island, it rolled and mashed up the canopy on the top and the hood, and then we got it out of the river with a clamshell.
Wow.
And then got a ferry boat. And
now, what was the story? The owner of it thought he was going to collect insurance on it, so just left it in the river for a while?
Yeah, the story was he was using it to run a PTO-powered blower, blowing grain on a grain barge. And one night they shut down operation. The next day they went back out to start up again, and the river had raised a lot that night and eroded under the side of the tractor. And when it eroded under it, it tumbled in the water.
Wow.
And he thought he was going to collect insurance on it. But after a year, the insurance company declared it was an act of God, and they wouldn't pay him for it. So he just let it lay for another 8 or 9 years before we finally got it out. Just more or less to see if we could do it. It really has very, very little value I can see.
I would agree with you. I see a lot of Ohio River mud on this thing.
See all the mud caked back there in the white rock.
Yeah, you can see the mud where it's just caked on.
We just kind of strapped that thing on it that day we brought it home because didn't want to lose that valuable merchandise.
So what you said this is a 4010?
It's a 4010, but it's had a turbo added to it.
Okay.
And it was
and not that it's recognizable that much, but they built these in the early 60s? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that was right after the 2-cylinders.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, you don't get to see many in this condition, and it's probably a good thing, right? Well, Charlie, I really appreciate you taking the time and showing us, first of all, your 4230 series, and this gem, which I had no idea you had back here.
Well, everybody don't know it. I'm not too proud of it.
Well, thanks again.
Okay.
On our next Tractor Fanatic webisode, we're talking Minneapolis Moline as we get an up-close look at Norbert Stahl's collection.